Alright, buckle up because Subaru just dropped a bombshell that's got the entire car market shaking in their boots. The Japanese company is planning to discontinue one of their oldest and most reliable models. But that's not even the craziest part. The replacement they just announced for this vehicle is, well, let's just say Subaru is making a seriously bold move that's got everyone scratching their heads. Seriously, this decision could easily make or break Subaru. And frankly, I'm leaning more towards break than make. So what exactly did they announce? How will the public react to this unexpected news? And honestly, why should you even care? Well, stick around because we're about to dive deep into this wild ride and figure out what all the fuss is about. You know, Subaru has always been that quiet, reliable underdog in the car world. It's never tried to be as flashy as Ferrari or as dominating as Toyota. Instead, Subaru found its sweet spot with vehicles that people don't just love. These cars have a reputation for being dependable, rugged, and perfect for folks who need a ride that can handle real life, whether that's snowy mountain roads or everyday school drop-offs. Think about the Subaru Outback or the Forester. They've been the go-to choice for families and outdoor enthusiasts for years. But the real superstar of the Subaru lineup is the Subaru Legacy. If you've ever been a Subaru fan, you probably know this car holds a special place in the brand's history. It's been around for 35 years, and it wasn't just another sedan. It was a game changer, back when all-wheel drive was considered a luxury feature or something reserved for off-road vehicles. The Legacy made it accessible to everyday drivers. It paved the way for Subaru's signature AWD system, which is now a standard feature across most of their lineup. In fact, the Legacy's success set the stage for the Outback, which has become one of Subaru's biggest hits. But here's the bittersweet news. The Subaru Legacy is about to bow out. Production will wrap up in 2025, marking the end of an era. The last Legacy will roll off the production line at Subaru's factory in Indiana. What made the Legacy so special wasn't just its affordability, it's the way it flipped the script on AWD. Back in the day, people thought AWD systems were clunky, overly complicated, and hard on tires. Subaru proved them wrong. The Legacy featured a simple yet durable AWD system. Manual transmission models used a viscous center differential, while automatic ones had a computer-controlled system. The setup wasn't just reliable, it changed the way people thought about AWD. And let's not forget the Legacy's other standout feature, its boxer engine. That flat 4-cylinder setup wasn't just quirky, it gave the car a lower center of gravity, which made it more stable and fun to drive. Over the years, the Legacy evolved into a surprisingly fuel-efficient, roomy, and well-rounded car. It wasn't trying to dazzle anyone, but it quietly became one of the best mid-size sedans out there. Now, let's be honest, the Subaru Legacy has never been the car to set your heart racing. Even the 2024 model doesn't break that mold. But here's the thing, sometimes excitement isn't everything. The Legacy has always been about practicality, safety, and dependability, and the latest model still nails those qualities with its top-notch safety ratings, confidence-inspiring all-wheel drive, and smooth, comfortable ride. It's no wonder it earned the 5th spot on the list of best midsize sedan. When the Legacy has been exciting though, it's been a real treat for Subaru fans. Think back to the early days when it came in a sporty, turbocharged version. That model gave enthusiasts something a little different from the Impreza and its rally-inspired WRX spin-offs. It was a nod to Subaru's motorsport roots, especially for those who loved watching Colin McRae tear up the World Rally Championship in the growling, turbocharged Legacy RS. Over the years, Subaru kept the excitement alive with occasional turbocharged and flat-six models, including the memorable 4th generation Spec B. But the Legacy's story isn't just about performance, it's also about its all-American legacy, pun intended. Did you know that every one of the 1.3 million US Legacies was built at Subaru's Indiana plant? That makes it a uniquely American success story, combining local production with a commitment to the community. It's not just a car, it's part of the fabric of the Indiana workforce. So why is the Legacy being discontinued? It's not about the car itself, it's about the market. People these days are leaning heavily toward SUVs, and Subaru is adjusting to that shift. The Outback, which is basically a rugged, slightly taller Legacy wagon, is still going strong, while Subaru has big plans to roll out 8 electric models by 2028. With only one factory in the US, Subaru has to juggle production between its Indiana plant and facilities in Japan. For example, the Impreza moved back to Japan in 2023, making room in Indiana for models like the Crosstrek, Ascent, and Outback. One thing we're really going to miss about the Legacy is its affordability. In 2024, the Legacy starts at just over $26,000, making it the cheapest all-wheel drive sedan you can buy. And let's not forget what you get for that price: Subaru's signature AWD, a roomy interior, excellent safety ratings, it's an IIHS top safety pick, and impressive gas mileage. The base model's 2.5-liter flat-4 engine delivers 35 miles per gallon on the highway, which is nothing to sneeze at, especially for a non-hybrid. Now, to replace this vehicle, Subaru is going in the complete opposite direction. Instead of sticking to their tried and true gas-powered all-wheel drive vehicles, they're diving headfirst into the world of electric vehicles. And we're not talking hybrids or timid little city cars here. Nope, Subaru is going all in on rugged, off-road ready, adventure-packed EVs designed for the practical yet thrill-seeking driver. However, it is kind of interesting that after decades of success with their trusty gas-powered lineup, Subaru would make such a dramatic shift. Why risk leaving behind the legacy of rugged reliability that's been their bread and butter? The answer isn't just a business decision, it's a glimpse into the future of the entire automotive industry. Let's talk about Subaru's EV journey so far. Their first attempt, the Solterra, wasn't exactly a game changer. It was a decent electric SUV co-developed with Toyota, but it had a bit of a bumpy rollout. Toyota's version, the BZ4X, faced similar challenges, which didn't help Subaru's debut in the EV world. Still, they didn't let that slow them down. Subaru has ambitious plans, and they're not holding back. Last year, the company announced that 3 brand new all-electric SUVs would hit the market by 2026. On top of that, they've set a goal to produce up to 400,000 EVs a year, but that's just the beginning. The big reveal came from Subaru's president and CEO, who laid out an even more ambitious roadmap: 8 all-electric models by 2028. And here's the kicker: they want half of their total vehicle sales to be battery EVs by the end of the decade. That's a huge leap for a company that built its reputation on gas-powered reliability. According to Subaru's internal plans, the first wave will include 4 electric SUVs by the end of 2026. Then, by 2028, they'll roll out 4 more electric vehicles, creating a lineup that's as forward-thinking as it is adventurous. What makes this so interesting is that Subaru isn't just chasing trends, they're staying true to their roots while embracing the future. These EVs won't just be about saving the planet, although that's a nice bonus. They'll also embody the rugged practicality and adventure-ready spirit that Subaru fans have always loved. Alright, so how did we end up here? Subaru has released something it calls the e-Terrain. Now, this isn't just some techie jargon, it's the foundation of what might be a game changer for the brand. Imagine this: over 400 miles of range on a single charge. That's up there with the best electric vehicles on the market today. For context, many competitors are still scratching their heads trying to balance performance with long-range capability. Subaru, it seems, has cracked the code. But it gets better. This e-Terrain platform isn't just about long-distance driving. Subaru has promised something that feels almost too good to be true, maintaining their iconic off-road chops. You know, the kind of ruggedness that makes a Subaru. So whether you're cruising through the city or navigating some gnarly back roads, their electric vehicles are designed to handle it all. That's a bold claim, right? Especially in a world where EVs often sacrifice practicality for sleek, road-hugging designs. And that brings us to what really sets Subaru apart from the pack. Unlike Tesla, with its ultra-modern, tech-forward luxury vibe, or Toyota, which has made a name with its reliable hybrids, Subaru is aiming for something completely different. They're focusing on you, the adventurer, the weekend road tripper, the family that just wants a dependable, no-nonsense vehicle. Subaru wants to give you a car that's eco-friendly and practical, without compromising on performance. Think about it. Tesla might be the gold standard for EVs, but let's be real. It's not exactly aimed at your everyday driver. Their cars scream high-end tech enthusiast more than family-friendly workhorse. Toyota, on the other hand, has been cautious. Sure, they're the masters of hybrids, but they're still dipping their toes into the all-electric waters. Subaru, they're doing a full-on cannonball. They're not just making an EV, they're making an EV that feels like home for their loyal fans. Rugged, reliable, and ready for adventure. So here's the big question: how on earth does Subaru plan to pull this off? I mean, creating a long-range, off-road ready electric vehicle that's also affordable isn't exactly a walk in the park, but Subaru's message is crystal clear. They're not just jumping on the electric vehicle bandwagon because it's trendy. They're looking to completely redefine what an electric vehicle can be. And honestly, it sounds like they're aiming to shake up the industry in ways we've never seen before. Subaru's move toward electric vehicles isn't just about jumping on the latest trend or showing off some fancy fancy new tech. It's actually a response to some pretty major changes happening in the automotive world right now. First off, there's this massive shift in what people want. More and more of us are looking for eco-friendly cars, something that doesn't guzzle gas and burn a hole in our wallets at the pump. And it's not just about saving money either. People are thinking about the environment, about reducing their carbon footprint. Subaru is stepping in to meet that demand, but they're doing it their way. They're not letting go of what makes a Subaru. Well, a Subaru, rugged, reliable, and packed with all those practical features we've come to expect. There's a bigger picture here too. Governments all over the world are really cracking down on emissions. They're rolling out stricter rules on fossil fuel powered cars, and automakers are feeling the heat. It's like the writing's on the wall. The days of gas powered cars are numbered. For Subaru, leaning into electric technology isn't just a nice to have, it's survival. They're not just thinking about today's market, they're planning for a future where gas powered vehicles might be a thing of the past. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be that company still clinging to outdated tech when the rest of the world has moved on. Then there's the competition. It's intense out there. Companies like Toyota and Honda are making moves, slowly but surely transitioning toward electric vehicles. And Tesla, oh man, Tesla's already a giant in this space. They've set the bar high, and newer EV startups are jumping in too. Subaru knows that if they don't step up their game, they could get left in the dust. And let's face it, nobody wants to see their favorite car brand scrambling to play catch up. So why is Subaru doing this now? Well, they don't really have a choice. If they waited too long, they'd risk becoming irrelevant in an industry that's moving faster than ever toward electrification. It's a gamble, no doubt about it, but Subaru's not just trying to stay afloat, they want to lead the charge. They're betting big on the idea that the future of cars is electric, and they're determined to carve out their spot as a serious player in this space. Now, Subaru's latest announcement is already shaking things up in the automotive world big time. Let's talk about Tesla for a sec. Tesla's been the king of the electric vehicle world for years now, dazzling us with its cutting-edge tech and sleek, futuristic designs. But here's the thing, Tesla's been all about luxury. Their cars are amazing, sure, but they're not exactly what you'd call budget-friendly. That's left a huge gap in the market for people who want a solid, reliable EV that doesn't feel like it belongs in a sci-fi movie or come with a Hollywood price tag. Subaru, on the other hand, is diving headfirst into that sweet spot, focusing on electric vehicles that are rugged, practical, and most importantly, affordable. They're not just making EVs, they're making Subaru EVs, keeping all the grit and capability their fans love. It's a bold move, but it's got the potential to totally shift how people think about electric vehicles. But Subaru isn't just about filling gaps or making noise. They're setting the stage for something even bigger. Pricing has been a huge barrier for EVs. Let's be real, most of them are still pretty pricey for the average person. Subaru's saying, hey, we can do this differently. They're doubling down on affordability, and if they pull it off, it could put serious pressure on other automakers to rethink how they price their EVs. That's a big deal, especially with everything getting more expensive these days. And the ripple effects, oh, they're huge. Subaru's sticking to what they know best, making cars that are just as tough and dependable as they are practical. They're challenging this idea that electric vehicles have to be all about luxury or high-tech gadgets. If they can pull this off, they might just inspire a shift in the entire industry, pushing other brands to focus less on flashy features and more on what everyday drivers actually need. The truth is that Subaru's decision to dive headfirst into the world of electric vehicles is bold, but it's not without its risks. In fact, it's a gamble that could either rocket Subaru to the top of the automotive industry or leave them struggling to recover from one very expensive misstep. Why is this such a big deal? Well, shifting from building trusty gas-powered vehicles to manufacturing electric ones isn't something you can do with a snap of your fingers. This kind of transition involves completely rethinking the way Subaru does business. We're talking about overhauling production lines, navigating tricky supply chain challenges, and pouring boatloads of money into research and development. It's no small feat. Here's one of the first hurdles: production capacity. Gas-powered cars and electric vehicles are, at their core, built using entirely different technologies. Subaru, with its legacy of rugged all-wheel drive vehicles, can't just slap a battery into an Outback and call it a day. Producing EVs requires an entirely new set of tools, materials, and expertise. To make this happen, Subaru needs to retool its factories, a task that's not only time-consuming but also incredibly expensive. On top of that, they'll have to invest in advanced manufacturing technologies to produce components like electric motors and high-capacity batteries. And let's not forget the challenge of keeping up with market demand. Electric cars are gaining popularity fast, and Subaru will have to scale up quickly to stay competitive. Take Subaru's upcoming electric platform, the e-Terrain, for example. Building something like this isn't a weekend project. It takes years of designing, prototyping, and rigorous testing to create a platform that meets Subaru's high standards. Then there's the need for massive upgrades to existing plants, or even building entirely new factories to handle the production. And guess what? All of that costs a ton of money. Subaru also needs a steady supply of raw materials like lithium and cobalt, key ingredients for EV batteries. These materials are in high demand worldwide, and their prices can skyrocket without warning. Add in potential supply chain disruptions, and it's easy to see how sourcing these materials could turn into a major headache. And let's not overlook the technological leap Subaru needs to make. Sure, they're known for vehicles that can handle rough terrains and adverse weather like pros, but translating that legendary off-road performance into an electric vehicle? That's a whole new ballgame. To pull it off, Subaru will need cutting-edge advancements in battery technology, electric drivetrains, and energy management systems. They can't just build an EV, they have to build one that lives up to their reputation for reliability and durability. That's no small order, and it's going to require a huge investment in R&D. Here's where the stakes get really high. All these changes, from retooling factories to developing new technology, come with massive upfront costs. Subaru is betting big that their investments will pay off in the form of a strong foothold in the EV market. But if things don't go according to plan, the financial hit could set them back for years. The bottom line, Subaru's electric gamble is as high risk as it gets. The path forward is full of potential roadblocks, from production challenges to supply chain issues to the immense cost of innovation. But with great risk comes great reward. If Subaru can navigate these challenges and emerge as a leader in the EV space, they'll not only secure their future, but might just reshape the entire industry. Also, as exciting as Subaru's move into the electric vehicle market may be, not everyone's completely on board with the idea just yet. For so many die-hard Subaru fans, the brand isn't just about cars, it's about reliability and that go anywhere, do anything vibe. I mean, think about it. Subarus like the Outback and Forester are practically legends when it comes to conquering muddy trails, steep mountain climbs, and those nerve-wracking icy roads in winter. So the big question is, can an electric Subaru really live up to that rugged reputation? Can it still handle all the adventure-packed weekends and off-road detours that Subaru owners love? Then there's the whole issue of affordability. Subaru is saying they want to keep their electric lineup within reach for most people, which sounds great in theory, but let's be real. Electric vehicles in general have a bit of a reputation for being, well, pricey. For middle-class families who count on Subaru for a reliable and affordable ride, the idea of a super expensive electric model might be a deal breaker. Sure, the tech is cool, but will it come with a price tag that feels out of touch with Subaru's usual crowd? And what about range anxiety? You know, that nagging fear of running out of juice in the middle of nowhere. Subaru says their new electric platform, called the e-Terrain, will have a range of over 400 miles. That sounds amazing on paper, but a lot of folks are still skeptical. Let's face it, electric vehicles haven't totally shaken off that fear of being stranded, especially when you're far from the nearest charging station. And if you're someone who loves taking the road less traveled, that concern is even bigger. Will there be enough charging stations in those remote areas where adventure really happens? It's not just about delivering on range though. Subaru also has to make sure their electric cars can actually handle the same tough conditions as their gas-powered ones. The whole point of a Subaru is that it's built for adventure, not just commuting. Plus, the growing infrastructure for EV chargers needs to keep up with the increasing demand for electric vehicles in general. I mean, what good is a 400-mile range if you can't find a charging station when you need one? If Subaru really nails this whole affordable electric vehicle thing, it could shake up the entire auto industry. Picture this: big players like Ford, General Motors, and Toyota suddenly scrambling to rethink how they price their electric models. Why? Because if Subaru makes quality EVs that regular people can actually afford, it's gonna put serious pressure on everyone else to lower their prices too. And that's a win-win for us, right? More choices, better prices, and an easier way to make the switch to cleaner, greener driving. But it's not just about the cars themselves. Subaru focusing on affordability could have ripple effects beyond just the dealership lot. Think about what happens when more people can buy EVs. The transition to electric transportation speeds up. That means less reliance on gas, fewer emissions, and a huge step forward in fighting climate change. Plus, a bigger customer base for EVs helps create jobs in manufacturing, charging infrastructure, and even battery recycling. It's like a domino effect of good things for the economy and the environment. And let's talk about what this means for the auto industry as a whole. Subaru stepping into the EV game isn't just a cool move for their brand. It's kind of like throwing down a gauntlet for everyone else. If they succeed in making electric cars that are tough, affordable, and environmentally friendly, other companies are going to have to step it up. We're talking faster innovation, better features, and hopefully lower prices across the board. It might even speed up how quickly we see electric vehicles becoming the norm. Imagine a future where gas stations are the exception and EV chargers are everywhere. Feels pretty good, right? What's even cooler is that Subaru's commitment to sustainability could push other automakers to adopt greener practices too. Things like using renewable energy to build cars, figuring out better ways to recycle batteries, and making production processes more eco-friendly. If more companies jump on that bandwagon, it could lead to a massive shift toward a cleaner, greener future, not just for cars, but for the planet. Of course, there's still a big question mark hanging over all this. Can Subaru actually pull it off? Their vision is bold, no doubt. They want to give us cars that are rugged enough for adventures, affordable enough for everyday families, and sustainable enough to make a real impact on the environment. But will they be able to navigate all the challenges and deliver on these promises? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But if Subaru does succeed, it won't just be a win for them. It'll be a win for all of us and for the planet too. So what do you think about Subaru's plan to go electric? Do you think customers will be on board? Or could this decision break the company? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and activate the notification bell to stay updated with all our latest videos. While you're still here, click the video on your screen to see more interesting content like this one.